Hi, welcome to the After Journalism YouTube channel. I'm your host, Bobby Warren. And before we get started, if this is your first time, I'd appreciate it if you would hit the like button to help more people see these videos. Plus, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss a video. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you'll get notified every time there's a new video uploaded to the After Journalism YouTube channel. So, um, I want to give you a little bit of background about what we're doing here. I was in journalism for decades. I started out. I started out as a copy kid. That's what they called it. I would run around copy from editors. I'd go into the morgue, the library, grab AP laser photos out of the morgue and send it back to the I don't know what department we called it. It was reproduction, graphics, photo. Not wasn't photo. And then they would scan in the image for the photos. So I've been around journalism a long time. I started at the bottom, worked my way up to city editor, but I spent most of my time as a reporter, and I really enjoyed it. I loved journalism. Like I said, I was in it for decades. I have a bunch of newspaper awards from newspapers where I worked, from the Associated Press, from the Society of Professional Journalists, covering all kinds of things, editorial cartoons, business writing, news writing, uh, just so many different fields, like so many different categories. I can't remember it all. And like I said, I really enjoyed it, but the industry started to change. The family newspaper where I worked was sold. New leadership came in, new ownership came in as well, and things were just different than when I had been hired in, and I decided to leave. I started my own business. It's called Worcester Media Group LLC. And those of you who know me know my attorney always wants me to say LLC. So if you think you're going to sue me, you're only going to get the assets of the company. You're not going to get what I own personally. So I hope my attorney's pleased with that. But anyway, what I decided to do was to leverage my communication skills as a journalist, started this new company, and I provide search engine optimization services, or SEO, content creation, and social media management to businesses. And because uh, it's a digital based business, I've worked with people all around the country and around the globe as well. I've worked with writers in Mexico, Canada, the UK, around the United States. I've worked with businesses in Mexico, Canada, Australia, Romania, as well as states, across the country, Florida, Boston, Indiana, California, Washington, Texas, Ohio, where I'm based. But most of my work is done out of state, and it's been kind of interesting. I welcomed you not to the Worcester Media Group YouTube channel, but the After Journalism YouTube channel. So I started a website called afterjournalism.com, and basically it's to do two things. It's to help other journalists who are thinking about leaving the industry or have already left. I tell you, I've made I've made a good living after journalism. And for those of you who aren't in journalism, maybe you're just curious and watching this video, the pay is not good if you worked for, a small local newspaper. I'm not saying it's the worst thing. It's a great job, but it wasn't the best pay. Uh, I did okay, but since I left, I'm doing much better. Even with the pandemic, the business is earning more revenue than what I made as a reporter. I started this website, afterjournalism.com, like I said, do two things. One is to help journalists who either want to leave the field or have already left the field, and also as a way for me to make money. So I'm what's called an affiliate marketer. So if you jump on this website and say you are interested in this freelance course by my friend Holly Johnson, if you order that course, I'll get a small commission. You do not pay any more, but I'll get a commission. Uh, I became pretty good with creating SEO based content, and I ended up creating first a content optimization guide, which what it do, what it does is it teaches you how to analyze content and make it rank higher in Google. So it started out as a guide, and now it's kind of what I call a mini course. And I've added video. I show you how look at a piece of content and how I evaluate it and how I change it to rank higher in Google. And I've taken articles and got them to the number one position. Recently, a piece that I worked on went from around 70 on the Google rankings to 25. I'm starting to make a little bit of money with my After Journalism website. What I found myself doing was watching YouTube a lot. I watched some attorneys, and then I started listening to Sea of Tranquility. That deals with, a lot of progressive rock. And I fell onto this food site from, I know I'm going to mispronounce it, Ethan Schlabowski, and I've made some of his recipes. So I've discovered that I'm watching YouTube more than I'm watching Netflix, more than I watch Amazon Prime, more than I watch Hulu, more than I listen to Spotify, right? And so we have a lot of streaming services, including BritBox, but I find myself watching YouTube a lot. And I said, I'd like to have a YouTube channel. And so I decided to focus on journalism. It's where I spent, like I said, I spent decades. I first started in journalism in 1988. I was lucky to get a job in journalism while I was studying journalism. And then I just worked my way up from copy kid to community desk, where I'd write news briefs. I would write I wrote a lot of obituaries, and I also designed the weekly TV supplement, and then I eventually left Daytona Beach to go to college in Cincinnati, um, and then I studied journalism there, and eventually started working for newspapers. I even did a stint selling insurance, and so, but just journalism, it gets into your blood, and it's like, becomes part of your DNA. If you've been in journalism, you know that this is a lifestyle. It is not a 9 to 5 job. It is a lifestyle. I mean, you're basically on 24/7. And even though I really missed journalism when I left, eventually, it got nice not having to worry about going out and writing a story, when a tornado hits, going out writing a story, when there's a fatal crash. I've been called out, all hours of the day, night, and morning. And, you know, once I left journalism, started my own business, I was able to dictate my own schedule. And, after a while, you get to enjoy it. Now, I just can't work whenever I want. There's sometimes, you have deadlines for clients and they have to be met. But I have a lot of flexibility and I've really been enjoying it. So, with this After Journalism channel, what's going to happen with it? Well, I want to share with you ways that you can improve your skill set that will make you more marketable. And as you become more marketable, that will help you generate revenue. And, people, who aren't in journalism, they don't understand kind of the constraints that we were under, especially with conflicts of interest. So you really can't have a side job when you're a journalist because you may have to write about, whoever you have a financial relationship with. So this opportunity for side hustles is almost non-existent. There are some things that you can do, but it's difficult to make extra money because you want to be ethical and above board. So I'll be sharing ways that make you more marketable, ways that or services you can provide if you decide to leave as a way to generate income. Also, what we'll be doing is looking at different tools that I use. I I use a variety of tools: graphic editors, photo editors, um, video editors, because I provide a lot of different services. I have Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid, which helps you edit. You know, when you go out on your own, you don't have the luxury of relying on a good editor to make your copy better. It's up to you. And I use plagiarism checkers. I use AI writers. Um, and if you've not experienced the artificial intelligence writing, the technology has come a long way, but these AI writers are not going to replace you yet. But you can use them to help spark your writing. Where I've found them to be beneficial is when it comes to writing sales copy. I am not the best at it. So these AI writers have helped me, and I'll show you how I use them. We'll get into optimizing content. You know, so many different things, and also I'm probably going to offer some media criticism from time to time. I was taught by some old school professors that you did not interject your opinion into anything you wrote. And so there seems to be this divide in journalism today where you have some people saying that there's not two sides to every story, and some voices don't need to be heard. That's not the way I was taught. Others who believe that no, it's like you just got to play it down the middle. If people have differing opinions, that's okay. For example, there are some people I know I've seen the journalism professor on Twitter. Like when it comes to climate change, there's only one side, and there's no need to quote anybody who has a differing view on whether uh, climate change is caused by man, or how many years are left and what have you. That's just not the way I was taught, and I have not migrated that way. I was taught leave your opinion out. You know, they didn't like me using adverbs or adjectives, right? Because that becomes descriptive, and it's, or I should say, use them too much because sometimes it could be descriptive. Verge on the verge of becoming opinion. So we're going to help you become more marketable as a freelancer once you get out of journalism. We're going to show you how to use some of the tools, and then you're going to hear my take on what I'm seeing journalists do today. And if you have a comment, I appreciate if you say something below, and let's keep this discussion going. And go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the After Journalism YouTube channel, and go ahead and hit the bell so you get notifications. And if you have time, check out my afterjournalism.com website, and Let me know what you think. Thanks so much.